Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start one new chapter. That is, its name is the necklace. Dear students, let me tell you this chapter not only gives a moral that we should be happy what we have with what we have, but also it teaches us that simplicity is the best way of living. Plus. When we have limited resources, we should not borrow unnecessarily money or some good luxurious things from others. So that is not the correct way. So in necklace, we will have all the uh, views from all corners that how it was difficult for one family when they borrow one costly item from one friend on some occasion and they lost it, and what hardships they have to face to repay it. So let's start it. And dear, let me give you the brief of this story. I have first of all I have told you that it's about one necklace, one of the family, that lady. In this chapter, the name is Matilda Mann. Okay, she is very fond of luxurious life. She always dreamed about it, but luckily or unluckily, we say she got married to one man who is simple, working, but have limited salary, limited expenditures. Okay, so she borrows one necklace from one friend, and very she after completing the function and all, after attending the event and all, she found that it was missing, and she and her husband buys a new gold diamond husband and gift to the same friend who where from they borrowed the actual. And after that they have to suffer. After that they have to pay the loans which they borrowed to pay to bring up that necklace. But this duration, the period, this takes a long period for them to repay the loan and its interest, which uh, almost which almost uh, destroyed the way they live and whatever they had before. Now they changed the accommodation. They compromised with the food and all. So at the end of the chapter, they come to know that the necklace which they borrowed from that lady was not the actual necklace, original one. It was just of a very few 100 rupees only, which they repaid it for thousands. So let's start it. Uh, Matilda Mann was a pretty young lady who was born into a family of clerks. Normally, in Asian culture, we get arranged marriages and all because of our culture, of our rich culture and rich traditions. I don't want to go behind it, the background and all, but it is the common way here. We celebrate it and proper way. So she was born in a family of clerks, and they prefer to marry their daughters in the same profession, like जमींदार के साथ, जागीरदार के साथ, gold smith के साथ, like that. It's not mandatory, but it is the way of the culture. Okay, Matilda Mann always thought that she deserved very delicacy and luxury. Unfortunately, she found herself married off to Ronnie Mann, a clerk in the Ministry of Education. She was always dreaming of luxurious life, luxurious cars, luxurious gold and all, but with the hierarchy of her family status, she got married to a one clerk, one man, a simple man, a good man. But the the payment of the clerk is not that hefty that they can buy very luxurious things like aeroplanes, biggest cars and all, sorry, costly cars and all. So life is like that only. So she got married to one a clerk. His name was Ronnie Mann. He was a clerk in the Ministry of Education. Since she could not afford any fine clothes, she dressed plainly even after marriage. She even felt sad when she looked at her house and its cracked walls, worn chairs, and ugly curtains. So she could not afford, like I told you, the life of a clerk is limited. It's not like spending crores of rupees on some luxurious things because the source is limited. So it's very good. Means one can have a house, food, everything, even car, everything, but cannot dream of buying an aeroplane, which is worth billions, like that. So she always have a dream of fine clothes. Even after marriage, she got dressed plainly because the resources, the salary was not that much hefty. When she sat down for a simple dinner opposite her husband, she would think of elegant dinners, shining silver, and of delicious food served in marvelous dishes. She had neither the dresses, jewels, the shining silver, nor the marvelous cutlery. She had nothing that could be called fine. Say after marriage, she had a simple life. She dreamed of having luxurious life like food, luxurious, delicious food. Okay, that shining silverware means on which food is served, like we can say silver type. Okay, and said she had neither dresses and jewels. She had nothing. So she had nothing that could be called fine. She had nothing that's so special. Like we some people have that gold set of with Navlakahar and all. So she had nothing like that. So it was simple. One day Matilda visited a rich friend who had been her schoolmate at the convent. Alas, Matilda suffered so much when she returned that she wept for days for despair and disappointment. Say one day that Matilda had class friends from the school. In school, we have got different kind of families, rich, poor, middle class, and all. So she met one rich friend who was her classmate in her convent school. So, but she suffered so much when she returned from her house. She was crying for days with despair and disappointment. She was very sorry for her life, and she was crying for long days. One evening, her husband returned with a large envelope in his hand. Here, he said happily, I have got something for you. She quickly drew out of a printed card on which was inscribed a beautiful invitation. One day, they say, one day her husband came from office. He returned to home with an envelope in his hand, and happily he was saying to his wife Matilda, that I have got something for you. So she was very desperate and she so quickly opened the envelope and saw one beautiful invitation where it was written, the Minister of Human Resource Development and Miss Priyanka Jetli asked the honor of Mrs. and Mr. Man's company for dinner on the Monday evening, January so and so date, at the minister's residence. See, when we are working in one company or in one office, and whenever there is a marriage and all, we invite our colleagues, we have, invite our office, we invite our staff and all. So luckily, Mr. Mann, Ronnie Mann, got an invitation from the office. We was working in Department of Education, so he got an invitation to attend the party and so date and so place. Instead of being delighted, Matilda threw the invitation spitefully upon the table, murmuring, what is the use of the invitation when? Matilda was not knowing that it is an invitation. She felt something different, but when she saw the invitation, she quickly reacted, said, what is this? This is of no use to me. She threw the invitation card on the table. But I thought it would make you happy. You never go out, and this is an occasion, and a fine one at that, said Mr. Mann. Mr. Mann replied, I thought you would be happy to go out because normally you are in home. So it is a delightful moment for a wife to accompany her husband to some invitation to attend some event. Matilda looked at him and with irritation and said impatiently, what do you think? Should I wear to such a party? I had I have neither good dresses nor expensive jewelry. She reacted to her husband when her husband says that I was expecting you to be happy and enjoy a happily moment. But she replied, I have nothing special to wear, nothing, not gold jewelry and all. Mr. Mann had thought of that. He said, "Why, the dress you wear when we go to the theatre." He was silent at the sight of his wife weeping. He stammered, "Wow, wow, what does that matter?" Mr. Mann occasionally is normally said that, "Why, you have a dresses when we go to watch a movie in a theatre, you use that dress. What's the problem?" And he was stampering like with some like when you do something, some when you commit some mistake, and you know you have a mistake, and suddenly you start stampering. So he like said, what is the matter?" With a lot of effort, he responded in a calm voice, whipping her moist cheeks. "Nothing, only that I have no dress, and consequently I cannot go to this party. Give your card to someone else whose wife is better fitted out than me." With lot of efforts, she responded calmly, with calm voice, because she was crying, she was weeping, she was stampering. So she replied to her husband that, "I have no dresses. I have to go to this party. It is better for you to go to give to someone who have got good and beautiful attire to wear, so that they can attend the party." Mr. Mann was very sad, but said, "Let us buy a suitable dress that costs little less, Matilda. Something would serve for the other occasions as well." Mr. Mann, with courtesy, said, "Okay, let's buy some suitable dress for you, which would be costing little less, not that costly of lakhs of rupees. So that would serve you for other occasions also. You can use for that dress for other occasions also, some puja, some other thing." Matilda looked at her husband and said in a hesitation voice, "I cannot say exactly, but I think such a dress would cost around 5,000 rupees." So, as you know, the salary of clerks were very limited at that period, is long years before. So, she said it will be around 5,000 rupees. So Mr. Man said, "Very well, I'll give you 5,000 rupees. Go and buy a pretty dress for yourself." So Mr. Man very agreeably said, "Okay, no problem. I will do it. I'll give you 5,000 rupees. If you are saying that dress would cost 5,000 rupees, I'll give you. Go and buy it." One day before the party, Matilda still seemed sad. Her husband asked, "What is wrong with you now? Haven't you bought that dress yet?" When Mr. Ronnie Man gave the money and all, she bought the dress also, and but still she was sad, and now she was thinking something else. Mr. Man said, "Haven't you brought the dress? I think that's why you're sad again." She responded, "I have bought the dress, but I do not have any jewelry. I shall I should look very simple." She replied, "You can wear some natural flower that would look fresh and lovely in the season." Mr. Maman was simple and a good. He was a very thoughtful man. He said, "You can use some flowers also, if not having a jewelry or some very costly items to wear." But she was not convinced. "No," she replied, "the flowers will give the shabby look in the midst of the rich woman." She convinced her husband that no, when we are going to party, there will be rich people, because the Ministry of Education department is full of high influenced people and all. Their wives are rich and all, so it would not be good to use flowers. Mr. Mann had an idea. He said, "How silly we are! We should visit your friend Jessica and ask her to lend you some jewels." So Mr. Mann had an idea. He said, "Okay, don't worry. Why don't we go and visit your friend Jessica, who had good jewelry? She can lend you some." Matilda uttered a cry of joy. "That's a wonderful idea! Wow!" she said. "I had not thought of that." So she got a good idea to visit one friend and borrow some jewelry from her. So she uttered, "Wow, that's a good idea. Let's go." Matilda dressed herself beautifully on the day of the ball. Sorry. The next day she went to her friend's house and told her the story of her distress. Jessica gave her a superb necklace of diamonds. Now, that friend did not disappointed. She gave one good necklace of diamonds. Matilda dressed her Matilda dressed herself beautifully on the day of the ball. The diamond necklace was just perfect. She was graceful of all, elegant, pretty, smiling, and full of joy. All the people at the ball noticed her and asked her name. Matilda danced with enthusiasm. She felt victorious and happy as never before. So Matilda filled her wishes by buying a good quality dress and the necklace which she had borrowed from the Jessica. She was feeling herself the last coke in the desert. She was feeling very good in the presence, others' presence, because she had good dress, attire, good one, and the necklace also. After reaching home, she stood before the mirror. Now, you observe yourself when you use some good dresses and all. You observe yourself many times how I am looking, how this dress gives an attraction to me and all. It's common. Similarly, when she reached home, she was looking at the mirror herself, how she was admiring herself. Suddenly, she uttered a loud cry. Her necklace was not around the neck. So, when she was in front of her mirror, just admiring herself, her hairs and everything, suddenly she noticed that necklace was not there on her neck. She cried. Mr. Mann came running. "What happened?" he asked. She turned towards him and said, "I have lost. Jessica's necklace is missing." He yelled in dismay. "What? How? It's possible?" And Mr. Mann was also very nervous and he said, "How is it possible? How can you lose it? I mean, just we'll check. We'll go here and there. You just check the the transportation means of transportation. They gone to attend that event and all, but it was all wastage of time. It's of all in vain." They looked everywhere for the necklace in the field of folds of the dresses, the coat in the pockets everywhere, but they could not find it. He said, are you sure that you still, now they are inquiring each other, are you still sure when you came, when you returned from the party, you had it, or when you were there, you had it all the time? So they are discussing all these things, but they are coming to no conclusion. So maybe the car driver had, maybe it has fell into the car, but they don't have the car driver's number, they don't have the car number, nothing. So it's all useless. They looked at each other in shock. Finally, Mr. Mann said, "I'm going over the track where." So he gone to the same track where they returned from party, but all in vain. They could not find anything there. So he got an idea, and Mentella waited for the grief. Mr. Mann returned home after he placed his okay. He said, "Write a letter to a friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace, and they will have to repair it. They will give it to someone." Now, in order to get the more time for it, so they planned the trick. Not a trick. They had a plan that we will tell that Jessica where she lent the gold, that jewelry, that the clasp means the main where it is tied up. So it has broken. So they have sent it for repair so that they get little time to resolve the issue, to arrange something, whatever. Mr. Mann had only so okay. The next day they went to a jewelry shop. So, but they are also planned it will buy some. They were so good also that they did not want to tell that lady we have lost and we don't have money. But they were so self-respected people. They said no, we have borrowed it. It's our baby to return. So they gone to Jessica and sorry, they called Jessica or wrote some letter that his clasp is broken. We need a little time to repair it. But the next day they go to the jewelry shop and found the same necklace. It costed 40,000 for the same necklace. But finally, after the deal, they paid the 36,000 rupees. Now see bad luck. Mr. Mann had only 18,000 rupees. Mr. Mann, who is husband of Matilda, she had only 18,000 rupees, and he borrowed money from somewhere, some office or some relative. Or in this chapter, it says uh, he had some money which his father left. So they arranged it, and they got some loans also. Finally, bought it to the necklace. And when Matilda took back the necklace to Jessica, she was in her frigid tone. You should have returned it to me sooner, for I might have needed it. When someone gives you something, lend you something, if you don't return in time, he gets angry. It's common. I also get angry. So, yeah, you took me it for one day, and now it's almost 1 week, and still you have not returned. What is this? Matilda feared that Jessica would perceive that the necklace had been replaced. What would she say? Would she take her for a robber? But nothing happened. She was scared that if she comes to know that I have replaced the necklace, maybe she'll feel that no, you are a thief, you are a robber. But nothing happened like that. Matilda lived life was now full of troubles and sorrow. It was hard to pay the debt. The couple sent away the maid. They changed their lodgings and shifted to a small room in the attic. Months and years passed by. That debt was still to be paid. Now they returned this gold set to jewelry set to the Jessica, but after they left, they had to pay loans, debits on the. It said it devastated their life. They had to vacate the. They had to vacate this maid who helped in the house, and also they changed the house from bigger one to small home. But due to this, she was paying the debits to the bank. It gave them the low quality of lifestyle, low quality of living, which she turned grey. She turned very grey for this and all, because when you don't have proper thing, when you have tensions in life, your lifespan, your life becomes a little bit that kind of a black and white life, you can say. So it was colorful before somehow, but now it became a black and white life. Matilda seems to be quite old. She had become a pale woman of a poor household. Her hair were poorly dressed. Now her dresses away, awry, her hands skinny, and she spoke in a loud tone and washed the floors with large pills of water. But sometimes when her husband was at a house office, she would sit at the window and think of that evening party, former times, of that ball, and that was so beautiful. When you have a sweet moments in life, you always remember them. Like when I had a luxurious car, no, I was using to drive that and all. But when suddenly it is nothing there, you feel it. No, yesterday I had that good life, and now today it is nothing. So she was quite sitting on some window when husband was not there, like that. Matilda approached her. Okay, one Sunday, as she was walking, taking a walk in a Champs Elysees to relax herself, she suddenly saw a woman walking. It was Jessica. She was young, pretty, and attractive. One day she was taking a taking a walk, and on the road that road, and she suddenly saw her old friend that where she lent her that this jewelry set, and she was looking quite attractive. She was looking beautiful because of her dresses and all. Matilda approached her, but Jessica did not recognize. As you say, uh, today's that on this with this materialistic life world, we recognize people by good clothes, riches, and all. Sometimes because this poor style of life and status of life, it little bit gives us an kind of a edge of an aging, where we look old more. We don't dress ourselves. We don't have a time to, we don't have money to dress up good, we don't have money to go to parlor and all, so it looks very shabby, old, sorry. She goes near to the Jessica and introduced herself. Hi, Jessica. But she could not recognize because of her poor attire and skin and all, pale skin. So she introduced herself. I am Matilda Mann. You remember I borrowed one gold set from you? Then oh, she approached. How are you, my poor friend? How are you? How are you? Matilda approached, but her Jessica did not recognize, and her was astonished to be familiarly addressed by the lady. She stammered, "Who? Who are you? I don't know. I do not know you. You must be mistaken. I am Matilda Mann." And she said, Matilda in a low voice. She recognized. Oh, poor Matilda. How are you? How is that? How are you? Everything? How's everything? So you have changed so much, and because now she says I have changed because of my skin looks dark, my skin looks this color, my skin is wrinkled and all, my life is so dull. It is just because of you. She said, me? How it's from me? She says, do you recall the moment I borrowed the jewel necklace from you on that day when it was a minister's ball and at event? Yes, very well. And said Jessica, wondering what had happened to with what is it has to do with that Matilda. Now she says, what my necklace has to do with your standard of life, your skin, your dull skin, your wrinkled skin, your old age and all. Now Matilda says, yes, very well, said Jessica, wondering what. Okay, well, I lost it, she said. How is that? Since you returned it to me, Jessica. Jessica now opens up, said, sorry, Matilda opens up, that gold set I bought from you, I had lost it. But Jessica says, no, but you had returned it. You did not lose it. Now, Jessica, I returned another one. Matilda says, no, I returned you the another one, which, and it has taken me 10 years or more to pay for it. You can understand that it was not easy for me. I was not rich. I had to take heavy loans to buy a similar necklace. Matilda is explaining to her husband Jessica, her friend Jessica, that the day I borrowed this necklace from you, I lost that, and I replaced that another necklace of same material, same stuff, and which almost took me 10 years to pay the loans for to buy the necklace. Jessica stopped and Jessica stopped short. She said, "You say that you bought a diamond necklace to me, replace mine." So she said, and Jessica says to Matilda, "Wait, wait, wait. It means, do you mean that you bought the gold necklace, diamond necklace for me when you lost mine?" Yes, you did not perceive it then. They were just alike, replied Matilda. Matilda says, yes, I purchased another, but you did not differentiate it because it was the same alike. Jessica was touched and took both her hands. She replied, oh, Matilda, the necklace I gave you was custom jewelry. It was not worth over 500 rupees. So the Jessica, with the clasped hands, say, "Oh my God, with the diamond necklace which I gave you that time, which you lost, it was just for not more than 500 rupees, and you replaced me the another that necklace which costed you so much of money that it took you so many years to do it." So, dear students, it was the end of the chapter. So, we have the moral of it. I believe that the questions coming up in this chapter, which are on your screen now, are not very difficult, or not even difficult, not very even difficult to answer. It is very simple. things like there are tick marks like it's of your own statement, comparing yourself with the others every now and then. Similarly, you have got decoding and all. If you leave the decoding, but questions are very easy. See, you have to state the, you have a given statement, you have to state whether they are true or false. Like Matilda was unhappy because she was not rich. For me it is yes, it's correct, because yes, she was not happy because she was not rich. Mr. Mann worked as a clerk. From this textbook and from the text we learned it is true. He was a clerk because she was born from a clerk family, and they have a tradition to get their daughters married to the same profession. Matilda did not want to go to the party because she was tired. No, she was not tired. She was she was unhappy because she had not good clothes and good jewelry to wear. So it is wrong. Matilda persuaded her husband to buy her a dress for 5,000 rupees. Yes, she persuaded. The moral of the story is not aspire more than you can achieve. It might ruin you. See, now we got the moral also from the story that you should not aspire more than you can achieve. Like if I have a salary of 5,000 rupees, I should not spend 50,000 rupees on something thinking that no, I will pay it. When you have nothing, how can you pay? You should find some option, then only you can go further another plan. So dear students, we finished this chapter. So I believe very soon you're gonna get through this and answer few questions more. Take care.